Our third and final reader is Anne Comerford, who was born in Rosslare Harbour. She's writing for 7 years. She won first place in the Scottish International Poetry Competition in 1994 and 1996, first place in the Boyle Arts Festival Poetry Competition 1999. Her work has been published in various anthologies, magazines and broadsheets. She also writes, like the other two writers here tonight, in open and closed forms, and she likes the discipline of the closed form and of traditional poetry. She's involved in the 4+4 at 4 project in Wexford, which is for poets and artists in the South East. And her work is available here in the anthology, The Ingredients of Poetry. It's a pleasure on behalf of the DPC to introduce Anne Comerford.
First of all, I'd like to say that it's lovely to be asked to come and read at the Dublin Poetry Conference. I hope you like my poetry. What you see is what you get, really, with my poems. I don't go in for long introductions, and my poems are simple, mostly short. The first one is called Wishing for Summer, and it's mostly about my dad, who loved to garden. And even though he passed away in the mid-80s, still sometimes something happens suddenly that just triggers a memory. It's called Wishing for Summer. On certain spring Saturdays, he would spend all day in the garden, loosening the clay, turning stubborn soil over and over into neat lines, perfect rows. Later, resting in the sunshine, he would roll a cigarette, lick the point of the tiniest pencil, and begin to write his list of seeds, bulbs and plants that by summer would fill the garden with everything we took for granted. Today I watched as you took an impossible pencil stub from your shirt pocket, licked the point, and began to write, turning stubborn words over and over into neat rows, perfect lines. Your face so familiar, so strange, and I wished that somehow you could have known him. This poem is called Footballers Don't Plant Flowers, and it's about my son. He's almost 13 now, and he doesn't take after his grandfather. He hates gardening. He plants stupid crocuses and mutters under his breath as his trowel strikes the earth and spring bulbs surrender. The lads just better wait at the pitch and not call by and catch him doing this. Footballers don't plant flowers. But he grins as results begin to show. Dozens of crocuses, all in a row, all wearing his team colours. Sometimes I describe myself as a love poet, and when I say that, I can hear people shuffling in an audience and thinking to themselves, oh God, I knew I shouldn't have come. I'd just like to read just something that I came across in one of Michael's books, Positive Fruit. Poems about domestic matters might not aspire to be high art, but everybody has relationships, and it's often on such common ground that poetry works best. So if it's good enough for Michael, it's good enough for me. So all of you who don't like love poetry will hate this one. It's great. It's called Green Sleeves. You play Green Sleeves for me and freeze a moment in my memory. A Sodality Room cinema in the 70s, and 30 schoolgirls in green gym slips wait for their very first glimpse of Romeo Montague. We know his lines by heart. We know how he thinks, how he feels, how he lives, and how he loves. Then he strolls onto the screen to the tune of Green Sleeves, delicately strummed on heartstrings. 30 intakes of breath as 30 Juliets wonder who among them in years to come will find someone just like him. The moment melts, you grin, slip your hand into mine, and I pity the other 29. This one is called Secrets After the Chocolate Museum. It got a place in the syllables in 1994. It was surely the hottest day yet. Even the river struggled, lazy and lifeless, as we strolled beside it, licking our fingers and slowing our pace, as sweat trickled down your face, then mingled with tears when I told you my secret. It was hot enough to melt bears, the hottest day yet.